What if I told you that one speech from Jerome Powell has traders pricing in a 90% chance of a September Fed rate cut? Markets just shifted gears, and you need to know what that means for the dollar, commodities, and indices. So before you place your next trade, watch this. Hi there, I'm Francois, your market analyst here at ATFX Africa. In today's brief, we'll break down three key markets shaping the week ahead, kicking things off with USD CHF, silver, and the Nasdaq 100. I'm going to be having a look at fundamentals moving each one of these specific instruments, technical levels that matter, and where you as a trader might see some volatility. But before that, let's quickly set the stage with a look at the week ahead in global markets. So last week ended with a bang as Federal Chair Jerome Powell confirmed that a September rate cut is firmly on the table. That sparked a rally across risk assets and left investors starting this week on a bullish note. Here's what you can expect day by day going into this week. So today, a quieter start with lower liquidity in Europe due to a UK public holiday. Watch German IFO business climate data that will be released later today, as well as the US new home sales as well. On Tuesday, so that's tomorrow, things start heating up with US durable goods, consumer confidence, and the Richmond manufacturing data all being released in one day. On Wednesday, the Australian CPI is the highlight in Asia, followed by the US crude oil inventories and Fed commentary. Then on Thursday, we will see the Swiss GDP is out early. Then all eyes will turn to the US prelim GDP and jobless claims report. Potential market movers, but the main event is definitely on Friday, which is the US core PCE inflation data. This is the Fed's preferred measure as traders will be watching closely for confirmation of a September cut. Add in Canadian GDP and Eurozone CPI, and we've got a packed final session on Friday. So while the start of the week may look calm, don't be fooled. Volatility will likely build into Thursday and Friday.
Zero commission on stocks? Yeah, nothing. What if you could get this value today? Turns out you can. Join ATFX now and let's get you started.
The big story is Powell's Jackson Hole speech. His cautious tone reinforced expectations of a September rate cut, sparking a broad US dollar sell-off. The Swiss franc surged in response, with the CME FedWatch tool now showing a 90% probability of a 25 basis point cut next month, up from 70% literally earlier Friday morning. Treasury yields also slipped and the dollar index fell sharply. All of this kept USD CHF under pressure. Looking at the charts, this instrument hit a 2-week high at 0.8104 before tumbling nearly 1% towards 0.8 flat. Right now, the 0.8 handle looks like an important psychological level. Holding above it may stabilize sentiment, but if it breaks, power momentum could drive it towards multi-week lows. The recent reversal also highlights how sensitive this specific currency pair is to Fed expectations. Having a look at silver, this commodity is currently hovering around $38.80 an ounce, near its highest level since 2011. The rally has been fueled by expectations of Fed easing and strong industrial demand from China's booming solar sector. Powell's dovish remarks also pushed the markets to price in that 90% change for the September rate cut, which further supported the precious metal. Looking at the charts, silver tested support at $38, aligning with the 9-day EMA. The RSI is also still above 50, suggesting bullish momentum is intact. Resistance is overhead at $39. A decisive break higher could see silver test that $39.50 level. But if $38 fails, bears might target $37.50 for further downside towards that $35.60 level. In short, silver sits at a technical crossroads. The Nasdaq 100 closed at 23,482 on Friday, up 1.54% after Powell's dovish tilt boosted Wall Street. But all eyes this week are on the Nvidia earnings expected on Wednesday. Nvidia is viewed as the bellwether of AI demand, but concerns over China sales and recent tech volatility could add uncertainty. Rate cut bets remain a tailwind, but sentiment may hinge on whether Nvidia delivers another blockbuster quarter. The index has rebounded after a sharp sell-off last week, but futures suggest a cautious open, hovering near 23,500. Immediate resistance sits just above Friday's highs, while support lies around 23,450. With earnings season and macro data ahead, expect this range to be tested. A break higher could fuel bullish momentum, while weak Nvidia numbers might reopen some downside risk. So with the dollar softening, silver testing major support, and tech stocks waiting on Nvidia, the stage is set for an eventful week. But here's the question. What happens if Thursday's US GDP print surprises the market? Well, that's what we'll dig in tomorrow. And with that, we wrap up your daily market brief, brought to you by ATFX Africa, the broker that gives you an edge in today's markets. Head over to ATFX Africa by clicking in the link in the description and go and experience the difference for yourself. And then traders, until next time, stay sharp, stay focused, and trade smart.